Hi, family member. Welcome back to our channel. And if this is your first time seeing me, welcome. My name is Opa Coco, that Nigeria Christian girl. I'm a faith and lifestyle content creator filming from Lagos, Nigeria. And I'm so glad to have you. Please do consider subscribing and becoming a part of our family. In today's video, I am going to be sharing with you a story. So it's a story time. Do you believe in the supernatural? Do you believe that God can, keep you and save you and take you out from the hands of death? Well, if you don't, then bring your chairs closer because I'm about to share the story of how God kept me and saved me from death. Guys, let's get into the video. So as I was saying, where should I even start this story from? Like, God has been faithful, actually. I am a living proof of God's faithfulness. I lost my mom in 2009, and after that, I think 2 years after that, I started losing, prominent members of my family. My aunties, like almost every year we were having like a funeral and things like that. And I remember that at the very last one, we were all there. We had just finished the funeral, and one of my cousins, she came up to me and she said, Onye, which is my traditional name, let me look at you very well, because I don't know if I'll see you again or if you see me again. And it struck me. And I was really like, okay, there's actually something going on. And this just shows that you have to be vigilant about patterns. When something becomes a pattern, you can't just be lackadaisical about it. So I took note of that and I was like, okay, something is actually happening here. And at the same time was when I'd started my walk with God, and I'd just started going to church. Not that I wasn't going to church before, but I was getting really involved in things of God, wanting to know more about God, praying more and things like that. And God was so faithful and merciful. At the time I was in Cameroon, so I'd come to Nigeria for the funeral, and then I traveled back to Cameroon where I was schooling. And then when I say, like, there's always a war. Like, when something is revealed, I don't know how many, but us like Christians, we get this thing that once something is revealed, then the devil wants to come and attack that thing because he knows that, God's hand is now in that issue or in the affair. And then the devil actually came. I had a dream. The next year, around the time when we normally lose someone in the family, I had a dream, and we were going for the funeral of another cousin of mine, and he had an accident on a power bike. So I was like, it was a dream, but those dreams that they were so real. Actually, all the dreams I had in that season it was so real. Like, if somebody would even tell me it's a dream, I would be like, no, this thing happened. I saw how he had the accident. I saw how we went to the house. I saw his sister holding his picture, like we were walking to the cemetery and everything. Man, I woke up and I was afraid. I was praying. God being faithful. At the same time, in my church, we always met to pray. I think Wednesdays and Fridays. Like every week, we were meeting at our pastor's house, and we were always praying. Choir rehearsals always ended up as revival prayer. Like, we were praying back to back in that during that season, and I really think that God just did that, for me, for my family at the time. So I told people, and we were praying. Thankfully, nothing happened to that cousin of mine till date, to the glory of God. The next month, I now had a dream of another cousin of mine that was, going to die, and I was just like, what is this? What is happening? And I called him, like he's an elder cousin, and I called him and I told him, see, brother, this is what I'm seeing. And he was like, it's just a dream and all that. I said, see, God, even if this person does not want to believe, I am believing on his behalf. Like, I took it I was like, God, I'm not going to go for a funeral. And we prayed again. And to the message of God, God still kept him. Now, the one that really made me this experience I'm about to share is the one that has really strengthened my faith, that even if somebody wants to come and say, oh, this and that, I will tell you, God is faithful. I have seen the hand of God, like, so visible. So a couple of months later, I went to my pastor's place from school, and he was an Igbo pastor. So he called me and he was like, Oprah, pray for your auntie. Pray for your auntie. And I was like, because I had buried all my aunties already. We had buried all my aunties. So me, I was thinking auntie as per mother, sister, or father, sister. So I was like, me, I don't have any aunties, sir. He just said, pray for your auntie. So I was just like, okay, which auntie? If you live in the eastern part of Nigeria, you know that sisters are aunties. As long as they're older than you, they're your aunties. And that's what I came to later realize, that was who he was saying I should pray for. The following week, I had a dream, and this dream was so real. Like, this dream was too real. And it wasn't all this nice dream, or it's just this kind of open things that maybe it was in the afternoon or in the evening that you just see something. So I was in the hospital, and apparently my sister had been rushed there. She was going to undergo an operation, and I was there. I was crying. I was praying in the waiting room. And the next thing I saw, the doctor or the surgeon or whoever, someone came and took me by the hand. The person didn't say anything, no, just took me by the hand and took me into the theater. When we got there, the person made me see the person on the bed, and I saw clearly it was my older sister. And after seeing that, the person now covered her face. Like, I just woke up and I know it wasn't a night dream, so it wasn't like, oh, I slept and dreamt. It was like, I think 6 p.m. when I woke up, and I was crying, I was shaking. So I called the person that was there with me when my pastor was saying, pray for your auntie, and I told him, and he just quickly said, this is what pastor was talking about and everything. That was on a Monday. I went to school on Tuesday, and I was like, okay, I will go to my pastor's place, because I normally pass by my pastor's house every day from school, because it was on the same, my way. Tuesday, I went to school. I was a senior at the time, so I was with my phone in school. Then my older sister, who was at the time living in Nigeria, she called me on the Tuesday. I had the dream on Monday. And then she says, oh, Onye, I just wanted to tell you that I'm traveling to the United States. I'm going for an operation. I only heard operation. I was just shouting, like, I was screaming. I was like, God, don't go. She was like, calm down. And my sister is not as dramatic as I am. Like, she's not even dramatic at all. She was like, please, what is wrong with you? What is it? And I was crying. I was like already crying. Everybody was like, Oprah, what's wrong with you? I didn't want to tell her, you are going to die. But I just told her, like, I was like, if you go for that operation, you are going to die. You are going to die. This is what I saw. And she was like, calm down. And then I was like, see, we have to pray with you. I'm going to my pastor's house. Kiniko. And she was like, okay, calm down. When I now went to my pastor's house, unbelievably, they were praying. Like, it was a Tuesday. It's not like a church program. They were praying. Once I came, they were just like, yes, we're praying about you. He now took my phone. Like me, I was crying. I was already crying because the whole news and everything had just disrupted my day and everything. I was crying. He took my phone. He went through my contacts and he went to my sister's number. And mind you, I didn't save my sister's number as sister or my sister or even her name. I saved it as her nickname. So he went there, he went to her nickname and he said, who is this? And once I just saw the name, I just started crying. And I said, my sister. So we now prayed, like we really prayed. Even after the prayer, I was still praying. I was scared. Like that was a moment in my life when I was so scared. We prayed. After they prayed for my sister, they called her. When she was about to go for the operation, they called her, they prayed with her. To the glory of God. To the glory of God. She is still alive till today. That was like in October or September. In November, and I hardly fall sick, right? In November, as we just entered the month, bam, I just have like this crazy migraine, like the kind of migraine that you'll be like, okay, what is causing this thing? So I don't do it. You can't explain it. I was losing weight, but like it wasn't malaria because I was going on malaria drugs. It wasn't malaria. It was just fatigue, tiredness. Like I couldn't even explain it. And if you know me very well, I can be a bit reserved, but I'm also a very energetic, bubbly kind of person. So everyone was like, what's wrong with Oprah? I would just be, I'm tired. Like I was in pain, but it's not like the kind of pain that a doctor will say, okay, this was doing you. At almost like middle of the month, I now slept and I had a dream. And the dream, I don't know if I should go into the whole details of the dream, but long and short of the dream, okay, I was my cousins again. I was with my family members, not you people, but like my family. And we went somewhere that, I think we went to an old primary school that we used to know. And we're like, they've rebuilt this place, so let's go and check it out. What's happening here? When we got there, we found out that it was no longer the school, but it was like should I say a shrine, or like, just a shrine, but it was white everywhere. So a guy that was wearing white, he tied a white cloth on his waist. He had like all these white marks and everything, like chalk drawn on his body. He came out and he was like, why are you people here? Who told you to come here? And everything. And all of us, we can't fear. You're like, what's happening? And then the man said that the last person, the person at the back, at the end, will pay for it. Family members, guess who is the person at the end? It's yours truly. I mean, I was the youngest, so I'm just like, what is happening? What are they talking about? And funny enough, it's me that told them, let's go to that building, because I knew the primary school. Then now says me, I now, in the dream, I went back home to my auntie's house. And, okay, you guys, this is a dream. So, yeah, this is a dream, but I believe in dreams. I believe that a lot of things happen spiritually before they come into manifest physically. So, I was just telling my aunt about what had happened and all that. And then all of a sudden, we got a knock at the door. I went to open the door, and we saw the man that we had seen in the building. And, like, I was just like, oh my God, this man came to the house. My cousins now became angry, and they went to like tackle the guy, beat the guy. Once they pushed this guy to the floor, once he touched the floor, I also fell. I was inside. I didn't go out too. I was inside. I fell, and then my left leg, like I couldn't feel any sensation in my left leg. My auntie was just there holding me, like, what's happening? Like, because she was not getting the whole. We're still gisting now. So she was just crying, like, what's happening? And shouting, her leg, oh, her leg. And then I remember the song that I was singing all the time at the time. And I just started singing that song. And like slowly, I was now getting the sensations back in my leg. And then once I got the sensations in my leg, the man vanished. Like, where they were beating him and asking him, who are you? All these questions. He just vanished there, and everybody was just like amazed, but thankful to God that I had actually gotten back and I was able to stand on my feet again. Once I woke up in the morning, in fact, what woke me up the next morning was a call from my friend. And she just called, her mom was on the phone, and she was like, Oprah, just start praying. And her mom was praying for me. That really made me understand that something would have happened that night that we will not be able to explain. Something might have happened, but I thank God that nothing happened. And I was praying. I later on went to their house, like, okay, mommy. She too, she was like, they also had a dream, both of them, about me dying that night. I was just amazed. Like, God really, really came. Like, he showed up for me. He showed up for every other person in my family at the time. And since then, we're still trusting God. We've not buried anyone since then. And it's just the grace of God. I just wanted to encourage someone that, don't be oblivious of the supernatural. Don't think that, I've seen this thing, then it's nothing. Or you are seeing some patterns, some physical patterns that are happening in your family, and you're just writing it off and saying, it could be normal. That's just how it is. Sometimes that's not how it is. And as a Christian, that's not how it should be. If you're there, then you're meant to be the game changer. You're meant to be the catalyst in your family. And I trust that the Lord would help each and every one of us. Yes, so family members, I've come to the end of this story time. Hope you gleaned one or two things. Be intentional about the dreams you have. Don't take patterns lightly in your family. Challenge a lot of things, because there's power in you. There's power in your tongues. And get a good praying community. You need that community. I don't know what would have happened if I wasn't in the season of praying, with my church at the time, every back to back. God really showed up. Before I go, obviously, I have the Bible verse for the week, and that is taken from Psalms 91 and verse 16. And it says, "With long life, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation." Family member, I want you to personalize this verse. Even as you go throughout this week, throughout this month, throughout this season, that with long life, God will satisfy you and he will show you his salvation. If you've watched this video right up to this moment, I trust the Lord that you've been blessed. If you've not subscribed, then do me well by joining the family and subscribing. Give this video a thumbs up, share with other family and friends. God bless you. See you in my next one. Bye.